Hello and welcome to Gabe in the Kitchen. So as you saw earlier, we're going to be making the most melt in the mouth, airy peanut brittle that you've ever had. Let's do it. For this recipe, you're going to need Okay, so let's just crack on with it. So grab your heavy bottom pan. We're just gonna put our 2 cups of granulated sugar straight in. And to this, I'm just gonna add 1 cup of light corn syrup. Now remember, light corn syrup is not the same as high fructose inverted syrup, okay? These are completely different. In fact, this one barely tastes sweet. So don't freak out and don't worry. This is not that bad for you. Now the purpose of this is just to make sure that it has a nice light color, okay? And it also helps with, I guess, to prevent crystallization of your sugar, but mainly is to give you a nice color. You can skip this. Pretty sure you can do without. What's your point, Jess?
Put it on the table.
What's your point? Then add your water. Oh, Santa. Right, so guys, before we start, it's very important that you have everything ready. So make sure you've lined and greased your pan. Make sure that you've pre-weighed everything. Your baking soda, your salt, your butter, everything needs to be ready to go. Because once this starts heating, you're not gonna have time to be preparing anything, weighing anything, and you're just gonna burn what you're doing. So make sure everything is ready to go. For this part, we're gonna heat it first to 250 Fahrenheit. Then we're gonna add our peanuts and our butter. Then we're gonna keep going to reach the 310 Fahrenheit mark. Now, the reason we're using unroasted peanuts is because it's gonna roast in there. It is hot and it's gonna roast your peanuts. So if you've had it roasted already, you're just gonna end up with burnt peanuts and it's not going to be that nice, too bitter. So make sure you're using raw peanuts. You're allowed to use salted peanuts. If you're using salted peanuts, just reduce the amount of salt that you add. But yeah. For me, I don't mind. Add some salt and add salted peanuts because I love it salty. Anyway, let's crack on. Oh, also, you can use a candy thermometer, just hook it to the pan. Our pan's a little bit too wide, so it's not quite deep enough to reach that minimum level. So we're not gonna use this. Instead, we're gonna use this. It's a quick read thermometer probe. We're just gonna put that in and it will give us a temperature. So yeah, we're aiming for 250 degrees. Let's do it. And of course, you want to start on a nice medium heat. You don't want to rush through this. It's not going to take that long anyway, so you'll be fine, okay? Make sure it's a nice medium heat and we'll get through slow. Now, of course, you can use a wooden spatula. You don't want to use a metal one because it will conduct a lot of heat and you'll burn yourself. Also, you want to make sure you stir this into a nice homogeneous liquid because any spots of sugar will burn and stick. So make sure this is a nice liquid. So essentially you want to be stirring it at the start just till everything is nice and dissolved. When you're happy that everything is dissolved and homogeneous, you can leave that to start boiling. Yeah, so what I'm doing here is I'm just getting rid of the sugar that sort of stuck to the side while I was stirring, just so it doesn't stick and burn on the sides, you know. I've made this recipe without doing this and it didn't really make a difference, but it might do for you, so I'm just covering all bases. It was just water to brush down the sides. That's it. The other thing to mention, we are going to be using our oven, not really to bake anything, but to make sure it stays dry. So I've just got it on fan, and it's about, what's that, 80-ish degrees. Nothing too hot. You need the fan to sort of circulate the air out to help it dry and stay airy. That's all it's for. Similar to our honeycomb recipe. I'll leave a link here if you want to see what we did with that in the corner. But yeah, that's all we're doing, drying out the candy. And now would be a good time to add your salt. This is just half a teaspoon of salt. This is very optional. If you don't like it salty, don't add salt. So we're over 250 Fahrenheit. Peanuts going in. And the butter going in. Yes, this is going to drop the temperature down a little bit. And at this point, you have to continuously stir it. Otherwise, your peanut will stick to the bottom and burn. So make sure at this point, you're just going to be here stirring away. Remember, now we're aiming for 310 degrees Fahrenheit. I must say, guys, this is one of those not safe for kids recipes, okay? You do not want your child messing with temperatures this high, okay? So ideally, if you have children, make sure they're as far away from this as possible. A small spill could really disfigure them. And you cooking, please be careful. This is hot stuff. You don't want to be licking the spoon, none of that stuff. And there we have it, 110. So I'm going to take that straight off. Now I'm just going to stir that for about half a minute, just to cool it down a little bit. The concern there is vanilla tends to burn. Well, I say burn, loses flavor if it's exposed to really high temperatures. So you've got the alcohol that carries most of the aromatic flavors in vanilla extract. If your mixture is too hot, all the alcohol comes off and it removes some of that flavor as well. So you don't get quite enough vanilla. That's why we add it last thing. And that's why I'm waiting a few seconds before I start adding. So guys, now is a good time to add your vanilla extract. I'll add a bit more because I'm afraid of losing some of that flavor. And then your baking soda can go in as well. You want to stir this as quickly as you can because it's already starting to set. Bicarb of soda gives it a nice airy texture, stops it getting all hard. But at the same time, when you add bicarb of soda and you let the mixture sort of sit in the air, it absorbs moisture and then you get a really sticky treat. That's why we're pouring it in our baking tray and putting it in the oven with the fan on, just to dry it out. So it is an essential step, guys, if you want nice melt in the mouth candy. And the other tip, once you pour it onto your chosen baking tray, don't try and spread it. Just let it do its thing. It will settle on its own and you'll have a nice, beautiful, airy. If you try and spread it, you'll flatten it, you'll get rid of all the air and it's just not going to be as good. So we'll let that. Oh guys, that is smelling gorgeous. And looks really good too. We'll let that just do its thing and settle. So now, grab that and straight in the oven to dry. We'll see you in you have to wait about an hour or two for it to be completely cool. We'll take it out of here in about half an hour's time. So it's been about an hour. I left it in a little bit too long. The heat is off and it's just on fan so it can circulate the air. All you have to do now is turn it off, leave your oven slightly ajar, and then leave it to cool completely for the next hour or two. Fingers crossed. Look at that. You can just give that as a go. Of course, you can take a hammer to this. Jeez. I don't know why people don't do this more often. This is a genius. There you go. Yeah.
Thank you.
This is a genius way of making peanut brittle. It melts in the mouth, it's airy, it's light. That's bloody awesome. That's good. I would encourage you to try this at home, guys. I promise you it's good. As nice as this is, there's a second version that I'm gonna make. The next episode, we're gonna be making the Ghanaian version. It's called Nkata cake. Okay? It is the same peanut brittle with a Ghanaian way of making it. Simpler, less ingredients, and a different technique. Look forward to that one, and we'll do a nice comparison. We'll see if Ghana can beat whichever country this came from. What would you say? Ghana, America? England? America? We'll see if Ghana can beat America. Look forward to that one. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If we have added any value, don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to make this as well, please follow the recipe and let me know how it goes in the comments down below. I really do want to find out if this worked out the same way as it did for me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, ever